hand sanitizer and there are masks on that back table back there. Masks are not mandatory, as you know, but if you would care for those, they are there. Okay. So welcome. It's been 2 years since we've seen one another. And I told my friend Anteba that it feels more like a family reunion than a meeting. This group has done so much for this organization and with each other, and I couldn't be happier to be here. The first thing I'm going to do is to do sort of 2 annual reports. I have put copies of the formal annual report that never got presented in 2021 because we canceled that meeting. So you can pick that up and look at it. But I have also made a summary. I think I have it here. Oh, phooey. Hold on.
How did Bill Hatch get all those pictures?
Yeah.
Good looking.
Look.
The guy on the left on that is Walter Chiaressa. He was the one that started the Sister Cities in Este. And he's a lovely man. So there are essentially, there's a formal annual report that I printed out in 2019-2020, which is stapled, and you can take it or not as you wish. But I also wanted to say that from February 2020 until just recently, we had no membership activities except for Pizza Palooza and the party that came afterward. But that doesn't mean that this organization went totally dormant. We kept up with our business obligations with the city, with filing our taxes, with taking care of insurance, with making sure that our EIN was secure, that we were listed in the formal register of nonprofits, and we also had several board meetings on Zoom, and then later on Google Meet, to keep going on. Even in 2020, we thought that we might be able to have Pizza Palooza. We made the down payment on Market Square. We started soliciting funders. We secured the pizza vendors. We got the band, and then we canceled. So there was a lot of work in that went down the drain. I'm sure this is not a unique story for a lot.
Wake up your computer, Bill.
Just like your husband goes.
There we go. A lot of organizations, I'm sure, did the same thing, hoping that the plague would lift, and then it didn't, and then it didn't, and then it didn't. So in August, we just decided to shut down everything until spring or early summer of 2021. So we started having online chats and had our first formal board meeting in July of 2021, where we optimistically planned Pizza Palooza again. And we decided not to have any spring or fall lectures, and no composers concert. Everything but Pizza Palooza was canceled, but we went forward with our arts exchange plan. This exchange had been canceled for 2 years, and we just decided that we were going to go ahead and try to make it work. And so that went forward. Then in August of 2021, we had a pizza meeting at the Willis House outdoors so that everybody could stay, could honor the distance, and but it was so good to see one another. Do you know what that is? That's Juliet.
Juliet's breast.
Juliet's breast. And we also optimistically started planning for La Befana, which also got reserved and planned for and all that stuff, and that got canceled. So we got our deposit back on that. However, in September of 2021, Pizza Palooza happened, and we probably had the best Pizza Palooza ever. We had 906 clicked entrances of adults. I suspect that doesn't take care of all of them, and it doesn't take care of the children as well. So we're roundly estimating that it was 1,000. And it was very successful, all went smoothly. I will let our treasurer report on the Pizza Palooza proceeds. And then in November, we had an online meeting again to follow up with the Pizza Palooza after event reports, and we started planning for this meeting. I reserved this probably in December of 2021. We had another meeting in January and started planning for the annual meeting, and also decided to go forward with our plans for the Artist Exchange. This time it worked. And Kathy Herndon is here with us tonight. Stand up, Kathy. Yay. And Kathy has been invited to co-present an actual exhibit in one of the old churches in Este with an artist who is also a sculptor during the Flower Festival this year. And so Kathy is going, and Chip and I are going, and Bob and Barbara and Tozy are going to help her with the 40 or so paintings, with the mechanics of that, to sit the show and to be there to support her. So I'm thrilled to let you know that. Kathy's expenses, of course, will be paid by the Cultural Fund, but the four of us will be paying our way. It's no cost to Este. I just wanted to make that clear. The other thing I wanted to say is that the Cultural Arts Fund is a separate fund with Este, and we have been running an online GoFundMe campaign, partly through the website and partly to Facebook. But I also wanted to say that if you have not contributed to this fund and would like to, there is a section on our membership form which allows you to make a contribution. These are all tax deductible, and added bonus, we are once more partnering with Liberty Town, and on the first Saturday in June at Liberty Town, Kathy will be giving a presentation about her visit and the exhibit in Este, and anyone who contributes to the fund will be eligible for drawing for one of Kathy's artworks. It's a wonderful occasion. It's very festive. It's one of the many events that we partner with other organizations here in the city, and we're thrilled that Liberty Town is cooperating with this. Of course, Kathy is also an exhibitor at Liberty Town, which is a lovely thing. So, in summary, we kept up with all our legal and financial. We worked with the city to make sure that everything was up to date with them, maintained our membership and financial records, protected our listing in 501c3s, issued newsletters and reports, had several conversations with our friend in Este via Skype, and then most recently with Google Meet, posted updates to the website, worked diligently to plan for possible membership activities, which went poof. Switched our newsletter distribution from MailChimp to Wix to better coordinate with our website software, and planned for, coordinated, and carried off the most successful Pizza Palooza yet. That's that. I just wanted to make some recognitions here of some of the people who spearheaded a lot of the work on this. This little elf that's sitting here recording all this is Deb Newman. She has come in like a magical IT fairy, has established our website, keeps everything up to date on the website, has now coordinated the distribution of the newsletter with the host of our website so that all of that stuff is in the same basket. And a lot of you have not met Deb, but she is a professional web designer and a business promoter on the internet, and who's doing this for free for us. So, thank you, Deb. Anyway, I don't want to make this too long. Let me get my own agenda here. Got so many pieces of paper, I can't keep up with it. There it is. So I'm going to give the mic over to Chip Willis, the treasurer, who will go over the financial reports from 2019 until 2022. If you fall asleep, it's okay.
That's a scary picture.
Anytime they talk about numbers, yeah.
I think Catherine passed around a treasurer's report, and I just wanted to hit a couple of highlights in here. Under income, the first number there, $598.77, is the GoFundMe proceeds towards Kathy Hernan's trip.
So far.
Pardon?
So far.
And one of the issues that we had to deal with is that the La Befana dinner got canceled at the last minute, and a whole bunch of people had paid for it, so we had to send their money back. And because it was done through PayPal, we had about $32 worth of PayPal fees that we soaked up. So the La Befana dinner brought in $1,267, but we had to give out $1,300 back. So the $32 was such as, anyway. Some other stuff running down through here under expenses. There's a line item for $100 for donations, and this was back in January of 21. First of all, let me say that this financial report is a conglomeration from the fiscal year 20, 21, and 22 because of the fact that we didn't have any activity in between, and I didn't want to, so I just lumped all that stuff together. So anyway, we gave $100 through the International People's Fund to aid to Este to help them offset some of their issues with COVID. Also, looking at the taxes filing fee, there's a $99.98. Filing fees went up $10 from $39 to $49, and that covers 2 years. So we had to file our taxes for 21 and 22. So, or 20 and 21. Also, if you look at facility rental, we rent a storage space from Fredericksburg Old Town Realty at 906 Caroline Street, which backs up onto the alley behind St. George's Church. And it has been extremely handy to have that space when we do events at St. George's. We literally can just truck everything through the back door, and we keep all of the Este stuff there. The previous year I had paid half of it myself as a donation, but the fee is $1,200 a year, $100 a month. And so this year, this has got 2021 and 2022 22 in it, so it's $1,800. Also, an item reinsurance. I talked to our insurance provider, Lewis Insurance, those scallywags, and I said, we're not doing anything for this whole year. And he said, well, you can't this is John Atkins, he said, you can't turn insurance off and on. You have to maintain it through the process or you don't get renewed. So we did that. Another item is pretty much self-explanatory. We spent $400 and change to send Kathy's art to Este. That was the postage, and we sent it to Donald Culp at APO, so we saved some money doing that, but that's the best we could do with that. I think that's pretty much all the news that's fit to print. Oh, I know what it was. We netted, with Pizza Palooza, we netted $8,037.51, which ain't too shabby for an afternoon's work. And although I have to give a shout out to Bob Antozzi, who helped gather sponsors, a big chunk of our income this year was through our sponsors. Those banners that go up, we charge them $250 a piece. Cost me about $55 to have them printed. So, and some of the ones that do it year after year, it's all gravy. So anyhow, that's all I have to say about that. I think the bank account as of this last statement was $32,190. So that's where we are these days. And it's up to all you guys that have helped along the way. One of the items I guess I didn't mention is membership income this year was $2,650. So.
Any questions for Chip on the financials? Okay. Membership reports, Bill Hatch and Chip Willis. Chip maintains the Excel file so that all of the board members can log on to it, and it's available to people who need it. So, Bill and Chip, you want to talk about membership a little bit?
I can speak real quick. We've got a lot of members.
Well, let me just tell you this, as membership started rolling in, both by check and by registration online, I was very pleased to see that we retained most of our members, and we now have 13 sustaining memberships. So that is a wonderful thing, and speaks a lot, one, about the generosity of the people who are in this room, and two, it's a vote of confidence that it's a philanthropic investment when you donate to an organization, because you want your money to go to an organization that you're proud to be affiliated with. And so sustaining members and all those members who have renewed say a lot about this organization. It is part of a kind of loyalty and pride, and it's a vote that says this is an organization that is a worthy thing and a good thing for Fredericksburg. And it's a hard sell to maintain a cultural organization when there are so many organizations out there taking care of needy and children and those kinds of very basic social responsibility kinds of things. So that says good things about us. But let me also say that I believe in the power of culture to create community. And I think that international topics shared with the people in the community help broaden outlooks and help educate. And Lord knows we've done enough free lectures and done enough Italian music concerts that we should have that box checked off. I also want to say that we have now completed not one but 2 student exchanges with the Rabbinic Rotary, and in talking with the Este Rotary, they are aligned. The Monsiliche and Este Rotary are now aligned as brother organizations. So it's through that organization that the students come. And we have had conversations with them, and they already have students who really want to come to Fredericksburg again. This summer. In these slides, you will see me with 3 young girls. I maintained a booth at their flower festival to give out information about Fredericksburg and to promote Fredericksburg. I think you saw that. But those 3 young women and their parents found out that I was in Este, and they came down and looked me up, and these girls stood there and cried. They were so grateful, which I thought was lovely. And 2 of these young women could possibly have had the financial means to come to America at one point, but one of these young women lived in a farmhouse. Her mother is a janitorial custodian at the elementary school. Her father is a farmer and sells farm products on the side to make money. And she is so conscientious and so hardworking, and it just thrills me to know that she has had this experience. So that's a very good thing.
She's now in engineering school.
See?
She's now in engineering school.
There you go. I don't know. Bill had a kind of bonding with his family. And there are several pictures in here of Bill with the family and the young woman. And she's in engineering school, you say? Yeah. So she was making top grades. She was also volunteering, and she also worked. So we've done a lot to help a lot of kids. Okay.
The good thing is they get to go for free
Yes.
to school.
Yeah, they do. Through the Rotary, they get to go for free. You know, I keep on praising so many of these people, these loyal board members who come, who contribute, who show up and do it right. And we have 3 board members tonight who have rotated off our board while the pandemic was with us. And I want to recognize them with a small gift and recognition for their service on the board. And they are Ann Tebbett, Midge Victoria, and Ashley Anglin, who is not here, but her dad is. So if you will come up, I'm going to give you something fun.
I think you'll want
And I will tell you, it's a nice bottle of wine purchased at Orofino, the restaurant that has been our constant help. And there's also a gift certificate in there for dinner at Orofino's. So, very appropriate, I thought. While I'm doing recognition, I want some people to stand up, and they are Bob and Barbara Antozzi, Chip Willis, and Deb Newman. While a lot of people have done a lot of work, these 4 people have been extraordinarily faithful in carrying out their duties, not only for Pizza Palooza, but for this organization for years. And I just want to say thank you. We wouldn't be where we are. Okay, election of board candidates. I'm going to turn this over to Bob Antozzi and Bob Bevilacqua.
In case you don't know the difference, I'm Bob and that's Bob.
This is Bob A and Bob B.
You guys hear me okay? Yeah. Everybody have a little ballot? Just like this. In a minute, you'll be able to use it. We're the nominations committee, and we've been working on that for a while. And then initially there was going to be 2 offices for which you were going to vote, office of the president and secretary. So we've been working on that for a while, and we had 2 really good candidates. And as happens sometimes, circumstances change. So the person that was gonna run for president, which is a really good one, we hope sometime in the future that will happen again, but circumstances changed and it wasn't gonna work. So right now, it's vacant. We didn't have time to find a suitable substitute, but we're gonna work on that. And when we secure that, we'll figure out a way with our president's guidance on how to do that. And in the interim, by the way, Catherine Willis has agreed to continue until we find someone, and she urges us to do that with all due speed. Any of you that would like to run for office of the president on the sheet,
Or nominate,
excuse me,
or nominate someone.
that would like to run, submit to the nomination committee?
Yeah, you're, yeah. Yep.
All right, on the sheet,
all the way over here. All right, there's a sheet in the packets, hopefully, that you have, that lists all the officers. At the top section, there is an email address, or actually it's a website, right?
No, it's the email.
Email address, okay. And send your email, a message to us at that email that says that you're interested in running for that position. And we'll get that information and we'll work on it. Before we vote, did I miss anything else?
No, I think that pretty well covers it, but we do have
That a lot of people can't hear you.
We do have a candidate for the secretary position, and that is Claire Simpson, who has been working in this capacity by appointment for a while now. But before we cast the vote, I just want to ask if there are any other nominations for candidate for secretary. If not, then I ask that we vote by acclamation to have Claire Simpson be named our secretary.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you. You don't have to worry about that. Yeah, no, keep that as a souvenir or whatever.
thank you.
No, talk it to you.
So, just to make it clear, you can self-nominate or you can nominate someone else, but send it to fredeste2015@gmail.com, which is the email that is listed on that terms of office register of board members. We would love to have some new blood. I have been president for too long, and we need, and our bylaws say that no officer can serve for more than 2 consecutive terms. So right now I'm serving as interim president. And, we have shaped the activities up to this point, but there is nothing that says that our program needs to change, right? One more thing, and I should have done this earlier. I want to recognize Odile Pryor, who's sitting right there. Odile is the one who has been putting together these lectures. She organizes the wine and cheese. And Odile has been superb with her choice of lecturers, the way that she has organized these events and has worked with board members and other members to make sure that there are plenty of refreshments. And when we started giving those lectures, we maybe had 20, 25 in attendance. And for the last 2 or 3 lectures that we had before we had to shut it down, we had 100 people.
120.
121 times. Now to talk about art subjects and archaeology and that kind of thing, I think that's pretty phenomenal. So ordeal is a big part of the reason that happened. That was the young woman. This is the young woman that we were talking about. The young woman in the glasses there with the second from the right. She is the one that's now in engineering school. I'm happy to entertain any comments, questions, suggestions. You know, I had said before, we're not really going to do a program, but I see lots of faces in this room that I would love to see you join our board. David.
Thanks for your leadership forever, and especially through COVID. It hasn't been easy, so thanks, Kathy. And of course, the rest of the board, obviously, you can't do it by yourself. But I was wondering if you could kind of, COVID seems to be waning, and you're going to be ramping things up, what I would expect, so maybe an outlook a little bit.
Well, we haven't had a board meeting. The first thing we're going to do is get Kathy over to Europe and help her do this exhibit and get all the stuff translated and printed. And then we're going to help her pack it up and send it back home. And I hope that the bubble wrap is still extant by the time we go.
Tell them about the other stuff that we're doing. The other things that we're doing
With,
in Este, besides the exhibits.
you know, Kathy is right. You know what, Kathy, why don't you come up here and tell them what you're planning on doing? You know, I have to tell you, the art committee consists of 5 people, and we meet at Liberty Town, and we're all familiar with the arts and the people in this town, and we meet at Liberty Town and start throwing out names and suggestions for people to receive this honor of being the Arts Exchange person. And when Kathy Herndon's name came up in discussion, we unanimously did this because not only is she a faithful artist and has been active and leader in the arts community, she has also garnered exceptional credentials and recognition as a teacher, and there's no one who works harder to make the sister cities in this town go. Right now, the Germans are in town. She is a member of every single sister city organization. So we were unanimously agreed that Kathy should be our nominee this year.
I just wanted to say a couple things. Originally, it was the exhibit, and then we discussed about possibly my going into some of the schools and teaching. So I think I have 2 high schools that I'm supposed to be going into. I don't know how often, maybe once a week or something, or twice a week. And then I wanted to do a mural there because I don't think I've ever really seen any there, so I thought that would be fun. And I ended up practicing it here next to my house on the side of the building. I don't know if you've seen it on Facebook.
It's super.
Yeah, well, I haven't finished yet, but I'll finish it before I go, and that's what I plan on doing, similar over there where they find a place. And the last time I went, I was with Mary Catherine Greenlaw for some kind of conference that they had on disabled and mentally challenged people. And I learned so much just on what Europe is doing. It was a European sister city thing. And Catherine sent us to represent Fredericksburg, and it was wonderful. And in Este, they have a house that is like an adult, kind of a group home where they can come and meet there. And also a few of them that their parents have passed away because these people are in their 50s and 60s and they need to have somebody take care of them. So they are living in the group home, but then the rest of them are still with their parents or caregivers, and they come to the group home as a daycare. And the people in Este have people that work there, and maybe, I think it's organized through the government there, But they have people that volunteer also. They've started a shop, and they actually have learned how to make things and put them for sale in the shop, and they do a pretty good business. And we bought a lot of stuff, so it was really neat. And it's high quality and very nice. One of their jobs is to do the little favors and throw things at weddings. And they make them and prepare them, and if you're gonna have a wedding, you can order through them, and then they'll just pay them. So anyway, I want to help there, and I'm hoping that I get a chance to do that. I told Massimo I'd really like to go there, even if it's just to teach a few times. And then the other thing he told us just recently, real quick, I'll hurry up, was that we were, that this artist that he's arranged for me to share the exhibit with, we're supposed to do a flash mob painting for the flower festival, which I'm not sure if it's gonna be on the ground or some kind of an activity that's a flash mob thing with the public that has come to see the flower festival. So I was like, okay. Well, that'd be wonderful, though. I'm really looking forward to it. So anyway, that's all the stuff that's going on.
Yeah,
Okay.
and it's a lot. Yeah.
One of the other things, Este seems to have a turnover of mayors every 2 years. I don't know. But anyway, there's a new mayor, and the new mayor has come in and made an appointment for a new coordinator of sister cities in Este. I've already Skyped with this fellow twice. He is fluent in English, and his partner is a young woman, perfectly delightful, but it turns out that she spent a year in Fredericksburg with a host family and went to marry Washington. So that's going to be really interesting. Small world there. But he has a lot of plans. He talked about trying to do an international conference with all the students from all the sister cities to come there in the fall, talking about how young people can foment peace through cooperation in different programs. I have already told him that Bob Antozzi has already reserved Market Square for Saturday, September 17th. And this is the year that our Este friends are supposed to come and visit us. So we have, the rule is 20 or fewer. But we've been they were supposed to come to Pizza Palooza the year that it was canceled because of the hurricane warning. Remember that? We did all that work and then it got canceled. And then they were supposed to come the fall that COVID was here, and that got canceled. And so there's a whole lot of interest in coming to Fredericksburg this year for Pizza Palooza. So that's just a foretaste. Somebody had asked me about possible activities. One of the things that we had talked about informally, and we'll see, was perhaps doing something outdoors, i.e., going someplace to a local winery that has Italian style. And there's several around here, so that's a possibility. I think people would be more comfortable doing something outside. We will see. We will convene this new board. We will also diligently search for some new blood for this board. And I would like for you to think about the people whom you know, maybe newly retired, or people that you know in other organizations, or yourself who would like to come on board. We divide out these tasks so no one gets overwhelmed. Each board member has a segment that they take on so that nobody is burdened with the whole thing. Okay. We're doing really well. We may actually get out of here in time for a decent supper. Before I say good night to you, I want to tell you that when we have enough, when we have a viable candidate for president and possibly other board member nominations, we will reconvene the membership to have a special election for that. Okay. And David?
I'm sorry, I wanted to give an observation. The last Pizza Palooza,
Uh-huh.
was of course very well attended, even though, you know, where we were in COVID. But it was my observation that it was, one of the more diverse events that I've seen in Market Square. And I thought that was pretty interesting, and I don't know if we can do anything with that, but I think we should try to somehow to, keep that going.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, you
Yes,
know,
we can do that.
let me just say something to that. That's why I took so many pictures. We have really elderly people who nonetheless tap their foot to these Beatles tunes. And we had a diversity of socioeconomic and also black, brown, and
Yeah,
kind
and I
of
see that at a lot of.
kind of
events in
pale.
Market Square.
Yeah, Chip.
I'm involved in several events that happen downtown, not so much lately, but have been over the years. And met with Parks and Rec folks who gathered together the people that were involved in virtually every event downtown. And behind July 4th, our pizza event is recognized as the most anticipated and most popular event in downtown Fredericksburg.
Bill Freeling. Okay, for those of you faithful people who have renewed at a sustaining membership, we have gifts over here. So, if you will come up.
Can you call out the names?
Yes, I'm
And
going to.
let me do this.
This is-
You call them out and I'll
This
deliver.
is Felix Ferraccio, this is Renee Rodriguez, Carolyn Vanderjack, somebody come help me here, Bob Baby Lacqua, Midge Victoria, Susan and Jim Pates, Bob and Barbara Antozzi, Lisa and David Durham, Pat and Earl Boston, Kathy Herndon. The name should be on the tag. Durham.
There you go.
Kathy Herndon, Linda Bear, and Scott and Kathy Walker.
I think she called you, Carolyn.
Anyway, thank you all. I'm done. You'll see some follow-ups to this, and you'll see follow-ups to this. We will keep you posted about Kathy's goings-on when she is in Este, and we will let you know about more activities in the spring and early summer. So thank you for coming.